And find 5 things you have in common, like asking about your home, family. Yes, tell the rest of the class about what you discovered. Okay? Yes. Please.
We want to play with each other. Neither of us is either word or well. We are going to practice it.
Neither of us are interested in English. Both of us have got a lot of friends because we are very friendly.
We are both interested in art. Neither of us want to gain weight.
We are both in drawing exercise and reading books.
Neither you nor I like spiders and snakes.
Yes, okay. And already use the expressions as both and neither is exactly I think. Yes. Now this time, listen and write answers. Then you hear 10 questions. 10 questions about so people might ask you when you first meet. Okay.
第摸摸 E.
What do you do for a living?
F. Are you married or single? G.
How many brothers and sisters have you got?
H. How long have you been at this school?
What's your full name?
Where do you come from? Yunga. What's your date of birth? August 19, 1991. Are you married or single?
Single.
How long have you been at this school? For 5 years. Are you married or single? Single.
Where do you come from? Korea.
Do you speak any other languages apart from English? Yes, of course. I can speak Korean.
How many brothers and sisters have you got now?
I have one brother and one sister.
What's your full name?
Where do you come from?
I'm from Korea.
How many brothers and sisters have you got? One brother. Are you married or single? Single. Where do you come from? Chongjin.
Yes. Okay. Now. Yes, you are understanding. Yes. Yeah, you listen these 10 questions. What's your full name? Where do you come from? And what's your date of birth? Where were you born? What do you do for a living? And are you married or single? Next. How many brothers and sisters have you got? And then how long have you been at the school? Then how far away from here do you live? Do you speak any other languages apart from? Sorry, here from, not yes? Yes. But from English? Okay. Then maybe I think yes, also you have a short conversation with these questions in pairs. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one brother.
How many brothers and
This is English class, and the students want to have a free talking with you, with us. So, first, who can be a teacher? First, and who can introduce? Please, Australia.
Yeah. It's you.
You? Please.
It's a native. It's a native.
And you can introduce yourself first, and you can ask questions to the students, or you can answer.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony. I come from Australia. Do you know where Australia is? Yes. Down under, bottom of the world? Yes. Do we know where Australia is on the map? Yes. Okay. Korea is on top, Australia is down the bottom. Yes. Do you know any of the animals we have in Australia?
Kangaroos and koala bears.
Yes. Yes. Any other animals? They're the two most famous animals. Oh, we have many crocodiles. Be very careful when you go to the ocean. Do you know what language we speak in Australia? Well done. Do you know how we say hello in Australia? Australians say g'day, which is short for good day. So if you meet someone from Australia and they say g'day, they're saying good day, which is a very polite way of saying hello. Do you have any questions for me about Australia? Anyone? Any questions?
Nice to meet you. What's the capital of Australia?
The capital of Australia is Canberra. Canberra. A lot of people think it's Sydney, but it's not. I come from Brisbane, which is the best city in Australia. Any other questions?
Sorry, what famous buildings have you got in Australia?
Famous buildings? The most famous building would be the Sydney Opera House. Can I draw on here?
Yes.
There's a building that looks like that. It is in Sydney, which is not as good as Brisbane, but it is a nice city. There's also a famous bridge. And they call that the Sydney Harbour Bridge. They would be the most famous buildings in Australia. Unfortunately, both in Sydney, not in Brisbane. Brisbane has much... Yes, lots of sun. People go to the beach, swim. It's very warm in Brisbane. No snow. Any other questions about Australia? Yes.
Are there any seasons in your country? For example, winter, autumn, spring, or summer?
We do have different seasons, but in Brisbane there's not much variation. So you must always remember Tasmania when you're drawing a map of Australia. Very important. Never leave it out. So Brisbane is here. Best place in Australia. Sydney. Canberra is there. And this is Melbourne. So in Melbourne, the seasons are cold, hot, autumn, spring. Not so much in Brisbane. Brisbane has very mild winters, but summers can be quite hot. Yes.
Where's Darwin?
Darwin?
Over there.
Darwin is here, and Perth is there, and Hobart is here. Taekwondo. Does anyone practice Taekwondo? I practiced Taekwondo in Australia. So, Korean martial art, very popular. I was an Australian champion. 1988. Wow. Any other questions about Australia?
Nice to meet you. You are very good at history. Can you tell me about some famous rivers or mountains in your country?
The highest mountain is Mount Kosciuszko, but it's not very tall by world standards. Rivers, the Murray River, which starts here and comes out near Adelaide, and there's a lot of snowy mountains up here, and the snow melts and the water comes all the way out to the ocean, and Australia has built some hydroelectricity dams. Yes, we have them in Korea too? Yes, of course. Yes. So ours are not as good as yours, but we've got hydroelectricity here, making electricity. So this is a very famous river, and a lot of farms along here. Any other questions?
Can I ask you a question? How many people live in the city?
Australia is quite a large country, so it's around about the same size as Europe or the United States of America, but most people in Australia this is where most people live in Australia. Okay, the centre of Australia has a lot of desert. Yes. All right, and it's a very harsh environment, difficult to live in. There are some people who live out here. A lot of people work in mines, but most people live around this part of Australia. There's a famous rock in the middle of Australia. Called Ayers Rock, or Uluru. Has anyone seen that? No? It's a desert, completely flat, and then this huge rock, all by itself. Does anyone know what we call the original inhabitants of Australia? They're called Australian Aborigines. So they were the people who were there thousands of years ago. And they still live there today. And one day, an English explorer called Captain Cook in 1770 came along in a boat and went up here, and he mapped the east coast of Australia. And that's when England decided to settle Australia. So Australia is an English colony. So people from England came to Australia, started putting up buildings, selling food, making farms, raising livestock. They brought livestock from England over to Australia, cows, chickens, ducks, rabbits, you know. And so that is why Australia speaks English, because we were settled by England. But now Australia has people from all over the world coming, yes, including Korea, Greece, Italy, South America, everywhere, everywhere. I haven't seen any Eskimos in Australia. They might be the only people I haven't seen there.
Did you see some sharks?
Oh, there are sharks in the waters in Australia. So, crocodiles up around here, sharks down around there. So you need to be very careful when you go swimming in the ocean. Go swimming with lots of friends. Maybe the shark will bite them first. Any other questions? Yes, you sir.
I wonder what the martial art is in Australia.
What the
Martial art.
martial arts? Well, Taekwondo is the best. Australia has no native martial arts, so we steal martial arts from all other countries. So we say, thank you Korea, we will have Taekwondo. Thank you Japan, we will have Karate, we will have Aikido. Thank you China, we will have Kung Fu. So we take martial arts, and people do martial arts to lose weight. 1988, Australian champion, no longer. So people do martial arts to lose weight, to keep fit, also good for your mind, soothing for the mind. Yes. Does that answer your question? Anything else?
Yes. I want to know about your recent technology technique in your country.
Okay. Some things that Australia has invented recently. The cochlear, well, when I say recently, within the last 10 to 20 years, have been the cochlear implants. So people that are born who can't hear, they've been able to put little implants inside their head, and those people hear for the first time. So that is an Australian invention. The most important Australian invention very most important Australian invention lawnmower. Lawnmower. Cut the grass. Invented in Australia. Australia also invented, do you know what the black box in aircraft is? So it's like a little recording device they put in aircraft. Well, they're big recording devices. And if the aircraft crashes, the black box records everything that's happened, and the investigators can find out what went wrong. So that was invented in Australia too. We didn't invent crocodiles or sharks. That were already invented. Any other questions?
Yes, I can try. I want to know the education in your country, especially the level of the education.
Okay, so Australia is made up of several states. So this is the state of Western Australia. This is Northern Territory. This is South Australia. This is the best state. This is Queensland. New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania. So each state has their separate education, but usually children start school in grade 1 around about 4 or 5 years of age. They then go through from grade 1, hana, dul, set, net, daset, yaset, ilgop. So hana to ilgop in primary schools. And hana, dul, set, net, daset, yaset, ilgop. Yadul to 12. 8 to 12 is high school, and that's where people take more advanced lectures and where they start to think about where do they want to work. Do they want to work in technology? Do they want to work in farming? Do they want to become teachers? Do they want to be engineers? Do they want to be an artist? And they start to focus on the subjects that will help them with their career. And then when you finish high school, you go to university and you determine what sort of degree. So if you want to be a teacher, you do a teaching degree. I'm a physiotherapist. Do you know what a physiotherapist is? So physical therapist. If you have a bad back, knee, hip, crack, crack, crack. So I help people in hospitals. So if someone has a bad back, or if they've hurt their knee playing sport, I come and help fix their bodies up. So I work for a government hospital. So I did a degree in physiotherapy. So you pick which university degree you want to do, and then you do that career. And I actually started my career in computers. So I did a degree in computing, worked in computers for about 15 years, and then went back to university, did physiotherapy, and became a physiotherapist. So I decided to change careers when I was getting older. Does that answer your question? Is that what you wanted to know? Anything else?
What famous universities have you worked in your country?
What?
Famous universities have you worked in your country?
The most famous university is the University of Queensland. Number 1, Hana. Melbourne University, yeah. Sydney University, yeah. Deakin University, yeah. Creme de la creme. I went there. So each of the capital cities for each of the states has at least one university. All right, and so just like the students back home in Australia, you need to work hard, study hard, learn. So you can go to university, make something of your lives, contribute to society. Okay? And trust me when I say learning is one of the best things you can do. It really is a joy. When you're young, it is easy to learn. Okay? When you get old like me, it becomes harder. So every day you come to school, you should be very happy. Today I'm going to learn something. Did that answer that question?
Yes, thanks.
Anything else?
Thank you very much. If you tell me about your medicine in your country.
Okay. Medicine in Australia is mainly Western medicine because we're a British colony. We get all the medical techniques from England, which is very common to what they have in the USA and other English-speaking countries. There are some Asian medicines, but they're rather small. You know, so that there'll be natural remedies. Acupuncture is becoming more popular. Yes. I don't have any qualifications in acupuncture, but a lot of physiotherapists back in Australia do learn how to do acupuncture. All right, it's very effective. once you know what you're doing. I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't use acupuncture. And I work in a hospital, it's a government hospital, and people in Australia, when they're sick, they can go to the hospital and the hospital will see them for nothing. So they don't need to pay money to see the doctors or to have any operations that they may need. Yeah. But the best hospitals are in Brisbane. That's
we're sure.
The Prince Charles Hospital is where I work. That's the best hospital in Australia. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes, our country is divided into two parts, the north and the south. But now we live in a happy life and the warm life of the respective martial kingdom. And I want to know the people's lives in your country.
Do people
What your life is in your country?
about our lives? Okay, well, the city of Brisbane. So let's say this is the city of Brisbane. It has a river that goes through it. And people in Brisbane either live on the north side or the south side. And people who live on the north side think the north side of Brisbane is best. People who live on the south side think the south side of Brisbane is best. I think the north side of Brisbane is best. Do you know where I live? So that is Brisbane. We play, the different states play sport with each other. And do you know rugby league? It's a game of football where they pick the ball up and run with it. Every year, Queensland and New South Wales play 3 games, and they do set games of rugby league, and it is very fierce competition. Queensland has won 13 of the last 14 competitions. People in New South Wales are very sad because Queensland keeps beating them. There are some codes of football. Has anyone seen Australian rules football? So you kick the ball and people try to catch the ball, and you have goal posts like this.
Yes.
If you kick the ball between those 2 posts, does it yasset? 6 points. If you kick between there, if you kick between here or kick between there, you get 1 point each. So this is the code of football that is unique to Australia. Australia invented this, but no one else plays it. But we play it around the country, and it is very popular. The grand final at the end of the year, they would have about 100,000 people go along to the match. Lots of excitement. So in Australia, most of the competition is sporting competition between the states. We like beating the other states whenever we play sport, including Taekwondo. Yes, so Queensland will send a Taekwondo team to the national competition, and each state sends a team. Then they all compete, and the state that wins the most gold medals is the best state in Australia. Guess which state is the best? Sadly, New South Wales. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
I work in a hospital in Australia. So I had to study in school, go to university and study, and then work in a hospital. So I hope that you all work hard and apply your skills and your knowledge. And contribute to society. That is how society gets better, when everyone contributes, works hard.
What's your name and how old are you?
Oh, sorry. It was very rude of me not to tell you my name. My name is Anthony. I'm 56 years old.
Thanks.
Pleasure. Thank you.
When were you born and where?
I don't tell anyone in Australia, but I was born in Melbourne. But I live in Brisbane, which is the best city in Australia. So if you meet anyone from Australia, don't tell them I was born in Melbourne. And I was born in 1961. Yes.
Have you got a family?
I have a girlfriend, but we don't have any children. And of course I have my mother and father and brother. Thank you.
Yes, I think this is a common test for foreigners. Then what's your favorite spot?
My favourite spot in Korea or Australia?
In Australia.
My favourite place in Australia is Brisbane. My favourite place in Korea is this school.
What about Korea?
This school is my favourite place in all of Korea. Because you have all made me feel very welcome. You've been very generous to us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
How's your feeling in our country?
How's my feeling?
Yes.
I feel very welcome. Ever since we've come to Korea, everyone has been very polite to us, very kind to us, very welcoming. You know? And I thank you and your country for making us feel welcome. Does this young man want to ask? I've been to about 52 countries. Including Australia and Korea. Okay, well thank you very much. Please study hard, work hard.
Okay, thank you. Okay.